Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another guide for Scum. And thank you for all the support in the last video regarding the puppets. Sorry for the guys waiting for the ultimate guide to continue. The server was closed for a while and then it opened back up. So I'll get back to the guide as soon as possible. And yeah, I just thought since they said in the next update, they are going to try and fix, or they said they're going to fix the puppet problem at the moment, and we'll be able to play the game again and get a lot of the players back again. I thought this is a good time to just help you guys to save as much time as possible. So that will be the title of the video. How the top 10 ways to save time in Scum. Now, right at the start, the best way you can save time in Scum is making sure that you go through all your keys, making sure that you like how the keys work, okay, so that you can use your side mouse buttons and stuff like that, because going into first person, I think you still have to press enter, okay, so the keys will be a bit daunting for you when you start Scum. So please go through the controls in the starting screen at the options. We all know how to do that. Just rebind our keys. Number 2 is if you want. I'm just telling you how to save time. I do not play with this character, but I have bought all the DLCs. So yeah, the number 2 is playing with this character, Luthais Montana. Now, this is a DLC. The reason that I'm telling you to play with this guy if you want to save time is every single time you die, every single time you start on a server, you have to craft a stone knife, then take the stone knife to a bush, cut the bush up, craft rope, then get 2 more stones, craft a stone axe head, then craft the axe, then go to the tree, cut the tree down, take the branch, cut the branch down, make arrows, your bow, more rope. You go through a whole rigmarole that you all will be used to if you watch my channel. This character skips everything. The other 2 DLC characters don't really skip these steps. All 3 DLC characters still gives you the ability to just run into a town, but this character is the best because the other 2 DLC characters doesn't start with an axe. And that's what we do every single time we start the game. We try and get to an axe, cut down a tree to get all our basic starting equipment as fast as possible. This guy starts with an axe. The only downside is he hasn't got a lot of clothing to cut up. So the best strategy for this character is basically just to take the axe directly into a town. If you start with a character with advanced melee, then you'll be able to kill most puppets with this character. But the biggest thing is he starts with an axe. He saves you a lot of time, and you can literally just run into a town. And the axe is very strong. It's not fast, but it's strong. So if you just want to run into a town and never want to craft anything, then this character, okay, this DLC is your best bet because he starts with a machete. But overall, out of all the DLC characters, this character will save you the most amount of time. Okay? Then the other way you save yourself a heck of a lot of time is that you don't change anything. The third way is you don't change any attributes. Okay? It will help you in the long run. You might want to play with the attributes, but if we're looking at saving time from the beginning of the game to when you're at end game and you're doing abandoned bunkers and you're fighting people and you're raiding people, if we're talking from the beginning of your journey to the end of your journey, this will save you the most time. Then from here, the biggest thing that's going to save you a heck of a lot of time is rifles on a PvP server. So if you're going to join a server that's not a PvE server, then the rifles is the best skill to start with because it costs something to level up your rifles. The only other way to level up rifles without it costing you anything is using a crossbow. But I mean, a crossbow is very slow. So when it comes to dealing with puppets, a bow and a good melee weapon is a better option. So you don't really want to just run around killing puppets with a crossbow to level up rifles, because there aren't a lot of puppets on official servers. But this is by far the best skill to max when you start the game, because this is not the max skill you can get. You have to build up 1 million skill points to get to advanced rifles. But when you enter the game, you're going to level it up even more, because you can go up to advanced plus, where it takes 10 million skill points. So it's still going to take you a very long time to max out rifles. But out of my experience on PvP servers, this is the most important skill you can have. The other great thing is that archery is one of the easiest skills to level up. So if you want to be good with a bow, then it's not going to take you a long time to level it up. And you can defend yourself with most weapons with no melee skill. And if you fight a lot with melee weapons, you are going to level it up naturally, but not as fast as archery. Then the fifth thing, okay, that you want to do to save time is max out your running and leave the endurance alone. Again, that's why I tell you to start with 3 attributes right through the bank, because if you don't, you can see it's taking all our attribute points, okay? So if you change any numbers here, you can't start with advanced running, and you won't save thousands of hours over a year. Like if you play Scum for a year, or if you play Scum, for 1,000 hours, then these tips that I'm giving you is going to save you a lot of hours, a heck of a lot of hours over the long run, because running increases your jogging and your running speed. So it saves you a lot of time, because you are able to run faster to wherever you want to go, and exploration is a big part of the game. Then number 6 is choosing thievery. There's a lot there are out of the skills, and stealth is quite important. Everything is quite important here, but thievery is by far the most important skill in the game. It just influences way too many things, okay? Way too many things in the game. It influences how fast you open a locker with a crowbar, time, okay? It's saving you time. It saves how quickly you can open locks, or how quickly you can learn to be good at thievery. Again, saving you a heck of a lot of time. If you have to level up thievery from no skill to advanced, it's going to take you hundreds and hundreds of hours. And if you enter an abandoned bunker, the time that you have on the keypads is influenced by thievery. So thievery just affects a lot of things in the game, which is going to save you a ton of time in the long run. Then number 7 right here is medical. Okay. I'm not extremely focused on this, but if I look at over the long run, the faster you can heal yourself, the more time you will save, the less bandages and the less rags you need, which medical influences, okay? It influences the stabilization time, number of required items to successfully treat a wound, and chance to successfully upgrade a BCU chip, okay? But the BCU chip isn't important. Again, right there at influences, it says stabilization time. We're talking about time here. Building a base naturally is going to level up your engineering naturally, okay? By the time you upgrade a base to, let's say, brick or whatever the case may be, you will level up your engineering naturally. You will level up your cooking naturally. You will level up your survival, every time you craft things and build things and stuff like that. You're going to level up your survival while you're building your base, because you have to chop down bushes and trees to build your base. So that will level up. Camouflage, every time you lie down and rest, it's going to level up your camouflage. Sniping is optional. If you want to just focus on PvP and you want to be a sniper, and getting close to people and getting hurt isn't your playstyle, then replace the medical with the sniping skill, because it's going to take you some time to level the sniping skill to advanced as well, or advanced plus. Remember, when you enter the game, there's a different level, a better level. So this is going to save you a lot of time if you just want to do that. But I'm giving you the standard ideas. Okay, so that's my top 7. Now let's get to the last 3. Okay, so the next thing, the 8th thing that's going to save you a lot of time in Scum is the Supporter Pack 1. I like the Supporter Pack 2 as well. All the other DLCs is just for making your playing experience better, giving you more hairstyles, giving you paint that you can put on the guns, giving you patterns that you can put on the vehicle. So all the other DLCs don't really save you time. They just make your experience a little bit more enjoyable. But Supporter Pack 1 has the watch. Okay, so you can see there, it's telling me what time it is. Now, you might think knowing what time it is doesn't really help, but it does. Because when you're running around at night without night vision, you can maybe build your base and know exactly when it's going to be daytime. You can basically, you can know when the sun is going to go down. So then you can, before the sun starts going down, you can make sure you're trying to get night vision or batteries or something. You can prepare for the nighttime. There's a lot of things that knowing what the time is can help you with. But the biggest thing is when you cook food, not in the beginning of the game, but near the end of the game. When you cook food, then you have to wait a very, very long time for the food to be cooked, and you don't want it to get burned. Okay? So having a watch enables you to interact with the food and set a timer that will give you an alarm. So let me just show you what that looks like. If you're never going to do any cooking, then it's your choice if you want to skip the supporter pack. But if we go look at the supporter packs, that's supporter pack 1. The photo mode, which is very, very nice, capturing moments with your friends and everything. Again, not time, but it's fun. But I mean, supporter pack 1 definitely helps you. And if you poop, sometimes you get a gift. Like if you poop, you're going to get a gift. But again, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then you can decide if you think it saves you time or not. Now, I made a little fire here. I spawned in basic materials, which you can get very quickly in the beginning of the game. You don't really need the salt. You don't really need the black pepper, but I'm going to give you a 2 bonus tips here as well. If you cook a recipe perfectly, you don't need the cooking book again for it. Okay, a lot of the recipes takes cooking books that you can find at the school in the big city or at the hospital or different other locations. But the hospital and the big city, the school at the big city are the main places where you're going to find cooking books. But if you don't always want the cooking book on you to cook the advanced recipe, this is a very basic recipe that I'm going to do now. But if you don't want a cooking book to cook that advanced recipe, just make sure you add all the ingredients to whatever you like cooking, and you'll never need the cooking book again. It saves that ingredients to you. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go cook. I'm going to go vegetable skewer. Okay, then I'm going to go add recipes. So it says there I need 3 vegetables instead of 5. Okay, add the salt, add the black pepper, and add a mushroom. Because I've added all the recipes, it's only the vegetable and the mushroom that's needed because it's green. All the blue ones are optional. But if you add all the blue ones, you never have to have the cooking book on you to do a recipe. I don't need a cooking book on me now because this is a very basic starter recipe. But later, when you get to food that can really help you over the long run, it will save you time again. So when I cook it, it gives me time that I have to wait till it's done cooking. Okay, Scum's time is 3.9 times faster roughly than IRL time, so you can always just divide this by 4 to see how long you're going to have to wait IRL. But later you get recipes that's going to take 2 hours or 3 hours in game, and you don't want to sit there. Again, it's time related. You don't want to sit there and make sure you don't burn the food, because if you burn the food, it's gone. If you forget about the food, the entire thing that you waited 3 hours for disappears, okay? Or if you're just in time, it will be burned. So instead of waiting here, what the watch does is you just look at what you're cooking and you say, set an alarm for 2 minutes. Remember, this is in-game, so you have to still divide this time by 4. So 2 minutes divided by 4 is about 30 seconds. Can I get here in 30 seconds with whatever else I have to do? Maybe I need a minute, at least a minute and, 15 seconds to get there. Okay, minute and 15 seconds. Now I'm working on my base. Now I'm doing other things, now I'm crafting bullets. Now I'm building the base. Now I'm upgrading the base or doing whatever I want to do close to where the food's being cooked. And I'm saving time because I'm multitasking now. I can't really multitask if I don't have the alarm because I can forget about the fact, I can forget about the food and then I can waste all the resources that I spent on the food. And you guys might think, Luth, the stuff that you use there is very easy to find and get. Yes, but later, when you cook a hamburger, which you need to cook bread first to cook the hamburger, trust me, guys, a ton of time. Okay, it saves you a ton of time. So we're gonna get the alarm because we have the watch. Because I have the watch, okay, I get the alarm, cooking reminder. Now I've got a minute and a half. Whatever I was doing, okay, I've got a minute and a half to get back here. It says there, cooking reminder, vegetable skewer. So now I come here, okay, and I just wait that minute and a half that I needed to wait, which is not that long because a lot of other cooking that you're going to do is going to take like 3 hours in game. You're going to have to wait like 30 minutes IRL, like in real life, real time, okay, and that's where it saves you. And then when it comes to the cooking, you don't have to wait. Again, time related. You don't have to wait for the bar to get to the end. You just wait for this bar to go green and it will be perfect. Again, time related. If you wait for every single recipe to hit the end of the bar, you're gonna lose, a lot of seconds and minutes over the long run, especially if you're cooking something that takes 40 minutes to cook. As soon as it goes green, you take it. Perfectly cooked. Okay? And there we go. And then another bonus tip, before I get to the last 2 tips, is this. Your starter bank card. Always destroy the starter bank card. Always. Because if you deposit money into it, or if you die, let's say you've got 20,000 bucks in the bank, and you die and you respawn, you're going to respawn with this card. And if you die again, let's say you were at a cargo drop with 20,000 bucks in your bank account, you don't have a bank card on you. But now you die and you forget about the bank card and you run back to the cargo drop with your bank card. They can kill you again, drive to a bank or an ATM and steal money out of your bank account. At the bank, they can literally empty your bank account, okay? Which, if you lose all the money that you worked so hard to deposit into your bank account and you have to start over, you are going to be wasting a heck of a lot of time, okay? So every single time your character's feet hits the floor, destroy the card. I have got ways to make a silver card safer, but at the beginning, rather just destroy the silver card. You go into the trader, you get the silver card for 100 bucks, you buy or sell whatever you need to buy or sell, and before you leave the trader, you destroy the silver card. If you don't want to destroy the silver card, you can, before you leave, go to the bank, enter your PIN in wrong twice, and then leave. So that if somebody steals your silver card, they've only got 1 out of 10 guesses instead of 3 out of 10 guesses to guess your PIN and steal your money. But I would rather destroy a silver card until I have got a gold card, which has 100 PIN combinations, and then I would still, before I leave the trader, enter the PIN in wrong twice so that they've got 1 out of 100 chance to have my PIN. But if you want to make sure that your money never, ever gets stolen by anyone, because the guy could get lucky, he could have a cheat, we don't know what could happen. But if you want to make sure your money never gets stolen, never have a bank card on you. Okay? So, let's go. Tip number 9 is sentries. A lot of people struggle with sentries. The tip that I have for you is patience. When you're patient, you feel like you're wasting time. But you're not. Because when you're patient, you save time. If I'm not willing to wait for the sentry to change its path or willing to study the sentry's path, I will die. And when I die, I have to sector spawn and waste a lot of time to get back to my body, maybe lose my body, okay? Just trust me. If you are patient, you save time over the long run. Rushing into dangerous POIs, trying to get everything as fast as possible, taking more risks, doesn't save you time. It feels like it saves you time because you're rushing, but you are going to die a lot, and especially with sentries, you're going to get into uncomfortable positions with sentries or hordes or puppets, die, and then you don't think about the time it takes you to get back to your body. So patience is definitely the most important tip, okay? So again, let's say I've looted the entire place. I'm not going to loot the place. I'm not just going to run out. I don't see the sentry. I'm not just going to run out, okay? I'm going to wait, which in the short term might feel like I'm wasting time and my life is passing me by. But if I ran when I didn't see anything, the sentry would have seen me. Puppets could have spawned on me, a horde could have spawned on me, a player could have been here and heard the sentry shoot at me and then killed me later on. There's a lot of things that can happen that's going to waste my time over the long run if I'm not patient, okay? So we just play it safe. So I am here at the barracks now, but I will give you a lot of places. The barracks has the last tip. A lot of other places has a very big time saving factor as well. And like I told you guys, the axe is good. I've got no melee skill. I've got no melee weapon skill. I've got advanced rifles. Okay? So let's see how long it takes to take out puppets. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And now I can search the puppets and get the rags that I need to craft the bigger backpack. Because I don't start with a lot of clothing. So I can search the puppets and get some clothing to craft the beginning backpack if I don't, or to craft the backpack, you know, instead of trying to wait to find a backpack. Okay? So let's get to the last tip. Then I can cut up the clothing with the axe to get the 3 rags that I usually need for a backpack. Now, all these rags are broken or very low durability. And usually when you craft items with low durability items, it can affect you. Okay, so let's say I do use these 3 rags to craft a backpack. What will happen? Okay, so I crafted a rope out of tree bark. Okay, I know this is improvised rope. I just spawned it in, but you guys know you can get 100% rope from, from branches. And now I can craft the backpack with these 3 broken rags. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, when you craft something, the item that you crafted gets connected to the lowest durability item that you use to craft that item. But it doesn't apply to backpacks. Okay? So, there we get more loot space. And now we can craft other things. With good rope, okay, and other things, we can still get that starting gear that we got with other characters. But here we go now to the final tip. The barracks has got, I call this the barracks. The barracks has got sleeping quarters for soldiers, which is very, very, very powerful for you in the starting game. If you're new, you're going to struggle. But I mean, this video is for everyone. So once you get experience and you know how to deal with the sentries, and you can do that by watching my guides, because I am really comfortable with sentries. Then you go to the sleeping quarter barracks, if you want to call it that. Okay? Now, this place has got the sleeping quarters. The naval base has got a bunch of them. You can get sleeping quarters in different places. But for me, you know, the naval base definitely has the most. And this place also has got a few things. But you've got a choice. You can loot houses and other POIs, to, to get gear, that clothing that enables you to carry a lot more stuff. So you can loot a lot of houses and save POIs to get geared, but it's going to take you a long time to get geared like that if you just loot police stations and towns, and you can still die. Okay, so you can spend 2 hours getting clothing or geared and then die. Or you can spend, if you're close to any of these points of interest that have these sleeping quarters, you can spend 10 minutes getting geared, or 15 minutes to get geared. And then, if you die, you die. But at least you didn't spend 2 or 3 hours getting geared or getting good clothing that enables you to carry a lot of things and progress faster in the game and sell more things in the game, okay? Because the more gear you have, the more things you can pick up and take to the trader and sell and advance your progression in the game, get more money, get more items, get more guns, and so on and so on and so on. So I just want to get to these barracks, and there they are. They are the barracks, so we're gonna run. Okay, you can see I'm now on the east side of the barracks, and if you go to the naval base, you will see those houses that I'm talking about. Okay, I'd say those houses are about here. Okay, here's a lot of dangerous sentries. There's about 1 sentry that you have to deal with up here. But I'm going to show you now on official settings, vanilla loot. Okay, just go to server settings, features. There, vanilla loot. Okay, vanilla loot. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So again, we're going to wait for this guy. Okay, there was a hole in the wall there that brings you to this place. That can give you tools and good loot, but we're just focusing on that clothing that enables us to carry more items. There's another sentry there, but that sentry won't really be a problem because he's going to turn around now. And now we're going to wait patiently for this sentry to turn around. Very, very patiently, we're going to wait for this sentry to turn around. He turns around and we run. We jump over here. We run directly to these houses. These houses that have the beds. Not the eating tables, the beds. Okay? These things that have the beds is the answer. I'll imagine I'm hitting him with the point of the axe. Okay. So these places is going to save you time. Immediately. 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 Now you can go and loot it. You can go loot towns. You can go loot the points of interest that you want to loot. And then you come back to me and you tell me how much time in your very valuable life. The time is the only thing we can't buy. You come back to this video and you tell me how much time I saved you. Okay? And then you go look for these places that I'm talking about. That's going to give me more warmth so I don't freeze to death. That sentry is my only problem at the moment. I want that sentry to see me. And you get loot on the beds, but I don't really see any loot on the beds right now. There is more loot. I'm going to act like I don't worry. I'm going to crouch down. I'm going to check what that is. That helps for the snow. Just want to check there. The sentry can see me through there. So I have to be careful for that. Okay. It's fine. You've got a lot of protection here. Okay. But try and be careful for the sentry, because again, if he detects you, there might be a player here that's going to come and see, hey, who activated the sentry. But I mean, there's a lot of cover here. You don't really have to stress about it. You can always put the wall between you and him. Okay, you see him walking past there, so now he's not got vision of you anymore. But you have to be a little bit careful because he has got vision of you now. And backpacks are really, there's better gloves. Backpacks are really good for rags. Remember, if you get shot, you're going to need rags. Okay? So So what you can do is just cut up into rags. And then because the item's durability is so high, you're going to get clean rags now. But I mean, if you get shot or hurt, there's no way to heal yourself. But a backpack will give you quite a few rags. Okay, there we've got quite a few rags. If you like Luthais, that takes up a lot of space. Take your rag strip, click on the rag strip, click on all the rags, and just craft. You need the rag strip with the rags to craft a bundle of rags. And then it only takes 2 slots instead of the 6 slots that it's taking up at the moment. So there we go. Doesn't waste any space in your backpack. Okay, he's here. He's very close to us, but we don't care. You can pick up things if you wanted to sell it, but your primary focus here is just to get loot. You just want to get out of this clothing because this clothing is shiny and doesn't have a lot of loot space. You know? There, spore and bag. Great, great, great item. Lighter for fire. Okay? So I don't hear the sentry. He's a bit confused, so now I can loot a little bit faster. I always loot in first person, you know. A lot of times the third person gets in the way of what you're looking at. I press tab a lot to see if there's anything in my surroundings. Look at the backpacks, and that could be an assault backpack, or there we get combat boots. Okay, we don't really want to wear pink boots, and we don't really want to sell it. It doesn't sell for a lot. It takes up way too much space. But I mean, that backpack could have been an assault or hiking backpack. I have found hiking backpacks in here. Okay, literally like 3 days ago, I found Tyrone's hiking backpack, which is a really cool looking hiking backpack. Okay, but we're just focusing on loot space at the moment. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so within, I don't know, 3 minutes, we got a better backpack. We got 4 slots, 2 slots, 9 slots with extra weight. And if you keep focusing on places like this, you will get pants, you know, military pants, military jacket that will give you a ton of loot space. Like I say, I have come out of the naval base by just looting these buildings. I have come out of the naval base, which is there, that place. Okay, just those little buildings that are there. They've got they've got half moons and stuff. But just coming out of the naval base, I was fully geared, tactical armor, full military clothing, full loot space when I went in there with barely anything. So you can loot whatever way you want to loot in, and then get back to me. And if you've got any better tips than this for saving time or getting geared quickly without a lot of risk, because yes, a bunker will be good for loot, or an abandoned bunker will be good for loot, but I mean, we're trying to help everyone here, not just the most experienced players in the game. So I'm just going to get behind this wall. I'm taking a risk because that guy can see me. I didn't think about that guy. And now I can loot this place over here. I've got a lot of cover. Don't need to get a heart attack. But again, you don't want everything to see you. Now we can go in here. And you've already got an axe. But maybe you want other things, like crafting, like a shovel to bury your loot. You want bolts to craft the chest, because you're gonna loot and then bury the chest with your loot, and then go loot again and put it back in the chest. Okay, and this place is gonna give you tools, another weapon. But I think the axe is fine. But if you want to attack faster, this place can give you tools to attack a little bit faster. It's going to give you resource to craft that chest you need. I found a chainsaw in this place. Okay, so everything is very close to one another. I found a chainsaw. Gloves will help you to work, because if you work, you hurt the gloves. Like if you use your hands to build a base, you need gloves so you don't get hand abrasions. You can stack items to save space. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed this, if you found this helpful, do me a favor and click that like button. And if you're not subscribed yet and you want to learn everything there is to learn about Scum, then click the subscribe button. And last of all, if you get a coal bag, it's extremely big, but you can just take out coal. Okay, take out 2 or 3 pieces of coal. Why does coal help you? It's better than wood. To keep a fire hot, it's the best material for fire. If you're ever wondering what coal is used for, you use it to fuel a fire. And it's the best thing in the game to fuel a fire. Okay? Hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys next time. Cheers.